Hello everyone, I hope you had a good community day. I know I did. I came back with something like 400 Charmanders and a monstrous haul of Stardust. I'm bringing you a new team today which is been doing me quite well for the last couple of days. It's a Dragonite on the lead with a Metagross on the safe swap and a Magnezone to sweep. I got them in the order I have in the little image there because I always put my safe swap in the same spot on the right hand side just so it's slightly easier to get to. This team is a bait team, and the idea being that unless I've got something that the steels can't handle, I switch in the Metagross as a priority, try and draw out any steel counters, eat them with the Dragonite, and then sweep with the Magnezone. And like I say, it's done me quite well today, so I'm just going to bring you a few matches that I've played, and you can see how it turned out. Let's just hop into those now, and off we go. The lag has been present, but not too catastrophic, but that's always good. And sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Let's hold the speed up there a little more. And so first up, we are leading our Dragonite into a Metagross of their own. So Dragonite doesn't have a good matchup here, so we go for the switch. We look to catch their Michimash. We don't quite manage it, so we have to shield. The idea being there I can switch it, have the Michimash land on my own Metagross. However, this way I can get into them with equal energy and we can just have a race towards the Earthquake. Not going to quite make it, and I can't really risk this being an Earthquake, so I'm going to shield it. It's an Earthquake of their own. Now I'm going to farm a little bit more energy, because this way I can throw an Earthquake, but they're pretty much going to have to shield, because otherwise it'll one-shot them. However, it's got their health low enough now that I can do the same thing with the Michimash in a second. There we go. So now Michimash should be enough to take them out with that much health, and if not, leave them very vulnerable, so I might well get another shield. And we do. So there we go. 2 shields down, 2 shields down. This will take us out with the Earthquake now, but that's okay, because now we can bring in... There we go. We can bring in our Magnezone to farm them down, get that nice big energy lead, and finish them off with just a single mirror shot. This won't quite take them out, but it will become very close, and we switch to the Dragonite just to finish them off, just so they can't actually land an Earthquake on us. That would have been a disaster. Now Togekiss is going to destroy us, however that's okay, we've got a Hurricane charged. It doesn't take out Togekiss entirely, but it does do a useful amount. There we go. So they finish off with Togekiss, that's fine, because Togekiss is now going to be eaten up by our Magnezone. They can either switch out or not. We do mirror shot it and blow our energy. That's mostly because we can't risk them flamethrowing us. And there we go, that's that gone, and in the back they've got a Dragonite. So we're going to build up. We can take a Dragon Claw, which is what's incoming now. We're going to have to, we've got no shields left. But you can see it doesn't do a great deal of damage. We can probably last another one, but only just. And we're just going to go for the double Wild Charge and throw back-to-back Wild Charges there. I don't know if we actually need to at this point. The health's almost low enough. But yes, looks like we're going to. And there we go, double Wild Charges. Good game to my opponent. That's really the power of this team. Magnezone with a shield advantage is deadly. If you can shield off the Earthquakes, there's not a lot that can stop it. Obviously a primary ground type would be a problem, but you don't see too many of those, so you're usually okay. Right, so Gyarados with Waterfall. So we stay in for this one, because they're hitting us for not very effective, whilst we're hitting them for neutral. And we're hitting them quite hard, because it's a Dragonite with a monstrous attack stat. We move straight into Dragon Claw, and there you go, taking a big chunk off their health, and they make the switch to their own Metagross. So we're just going to farm it down a little bit, and there's the incoming attack, so we're just going to shield now. And again, we're probably going to switch in our own Metagross. There we go, and we're going to start farming down. Now, they do have the shield lead, but again, we're going to go into our Earthquake. We're going to shield their Earthquake, and then Earthquake followed by a Michimash. That way they pretty much have to shield the Earthquake. Oh no, actually, yeah, there we go. Earthquake going through. It looks like I might have changed my mind at the last minute, but too late. But still, their health is now low enough, and we're going to get to that Michimash first. If they Michimash us, it won't take us out, and our Michimash will take them out. So they pretty much have to shield this, and we'll equalise the shields. They do shield, there we go. I expect them to Earthquake us now, and that will take us out, but that means they've blown all their energy, and they're now very farmable. There you go. Nice low energy, so we can come in with Magnezone, start our farm down. They switch quickly to Gyarados, great, because it's vulnerable to electric. And Aqua Tail stings a little bit, but not enough to matter. And we're just going to farm down with Spark. There we go. So even more energy lead. I'm not really sure they wanted to do that. So Metagross comes out again, and we're just going to do the same again, and drop our Mirror Shot with a little bit of energy lead still, and finish that off. Goodbye. And then in comes Togekiss, even better. So everything in this team is vulnerable to electric. Well, I suppose Metagross isn't technically, but it still doesn't like wild charges very much. Goodbye, Togekiss. Next up, we're going to be doing same again. No, a little bit of loading lag on this one. Yeah, lovely. Okay, fine. Have been having a little bit of that. I should have trimmed that one a little bit more. Right, so it goes. Yep. So, yes. Wow. Okay, Pokemon Go is not responding. Yep, glorious. So, Metagross lead, Dragonite. So, we're making the switch here to try and catch their Michimash. We think the timing is right, so we're just not going to shield here. They throw their energy. That's okay. And they switch out to Garchomp. It's great. It's exactly the point of this team. We're just going to let this go down. We're sort of hoping that this is a Sand Tomb because it's not going to finish us. And sure enough, it isn't. So we are going to get to a Michimash. They can either spend a shield to keep their Garchomp in play a bit longer. That's probably the sensible choice here. But that would be conceding both their shields. So that would be dangerous for them. So instead, they're going to farm us down. They've got an energy lead. That's okay. We've got a Dragonite here. At this point, they could Sand Tomb us, but it would be doing minimal damage. So, well, there we go. They successfully bait us. Usually, I anticipate an Outrage coming in, just because that's the move that does some damage, and it does one-shot a Dragonite. I do need to preserve it, though, and I can't risk it going down here, because obviously, if you get that ground type on the thing that's double vulnerable to ground, you lose. So, they've gone, and Metagross comes in. We're just going to farm it down a little bit further, and throw a Dragon Claw, see if we can get that shield off. Sensibly, no. Okay, so we're just going to build up a bit more energy. And looks like they're going to take us out. That's unfortunate. However, it does mean that they are switch locked and we can farm them down with our Magnezone. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to chip away at it. We're going to build up a Mirror Shot, and I think this was too quick. I think I've got my timing right here. And sure enough, it's a Michimash. So there's no Earthquake, and we return with a Mirror Shot. That should be pretty much taking this out. And either way, their energy is low enough now that they aren't going to get to an Earthquake, which is good. There we go. So now the Metagross at the back, Magnezone versus Garchomp is a dangerous matchup for us. However, we do have Mirror Shots loaded, and so we do have a chance here. And it's like we're going to take out the Garchomp with Mirror Shots. Good game to my opponent. That would have been disastrous in any other way. If I didn't have the energy lead, I'd be in trouble. Now the Dragonite's going to be difficult. We're going to go for the Wild Charge, and I don't think it's going to do enough. Not quite. No, I think they're going to take us out here. Dragon Claw is going to finish us off for sure. Still, it was close, and I think with a bit tighter play on my part, I could probably have turned that round. I think I made a couple of mistakes there. Anyway, those were my two warm-up matches, and so I'm just going to hop into the I think a set of 5 that I ran back-to-back after it. Right, so Dragonite versus Dragonite. We're just going to switch on the Dragon Claw to try and catch it on Metagross, just like that. There we go. So my opponent's now done a not very effective Dragon Claw, and now I can farm them down with steel damage whilst resisting almost everything they can throw at us. I'm not sure why they're staying in at this point. I can only conclude that they've got something in the back that is just no use against Metagross. Gyarados, well, it's not great. I mean, Dragon Breath is resisted, but the Crunch will do super effective, and the Waterfall and the Aqua Tail will too. Do some neutral. Sorry. So, we're anticipating that incoming. We're just going to let it land. And there's the Aqua Tail. There we go. Let's take us down. That's okay. Probably should have brought in the electric type here, but we're just going to go straight back into the Dragonite. Trade Dragon moves with Dragon moves, and then build up a Dragon Claw. Oh, they're going to throw. Okay, we're going to let it go down. If there's an Aqua Tail, probably won't quite finish us off actually, so nearly got to the Dragon Claw. Didn't quite. But we do have a shield lead, and we do have a farmable Gyarados, so there we go. Dragonite comes in. We're going to be able to Mirror Shot that. Hopefully that will get the shield off it. No shield, but that's okay, because now we can finish it off with Sparks. And a Metagross in the back. We've got 2 shields here, and the only thing they can really hurt us with is Earthquake. So if we just double shield whatever they've got, they just can't stop us now. We're just going to go... Oh, Psychic. Okay, so I'm going to guess they don't actually have an Earthquake. Either that or this is a Psychic Earthquake, and the Psychic was the cheap bait option. I suppose that's a good play. Throw a Wild Charge first, and then build up to 2 again, and then throw a Mirror Shot. Hopefully the Mirror Shot will threaten them enough that they feel the need to shield it. And there we go, we get the shield off them, and we're for another Wild Charge. I don't know if that other Mirror Shot would have been enough at this range, but I didn't want to risk it. Goodbye. So that was a reasonably resounding success with the shield left over. Into the next match. Dragonite onto Garchomp. So this is an interesting one because we hit them for super effective and do them a lot of harm, but their outrage really will do us a lot of damage in return. Now I think this was a bit too quick, so I'm just going to take the risk that it's a Sand Tomb, and it's a Sand Tomb. As you can see, it does next to no damage because the flying type resists it quite hard. We're just going to throw our Dragon Claws, it's going to do them super effective. They can't really afford not to shield. I'm still not sure why they're staying in here. I think that's a mistake on their part. Unless they've got whatever in the back, can't take on a Dragonite really. And it's a Machamp. So there's not another bad matchup because we resist their fighting moves. However, we do have to respect the potential of a Rock Slide. The Machamp goes out and it's a Gyarados. So, well, actually I probably shouldn't have brought in the Metagross at this point because I should have brought in the Magnezone. But it's okay, I think this will work out. We need to crunch, that's okay. We're going to pressure it with the Meteor Mash. This might get that last shield off them, we'll see. No last shield. Okay, never mind. However, they've now got a bit of energy and we've got a double super effective electric type to farm it down. So that will do. It's giving us the energy we need. The Machamp, we're going to build up the Wild Charge, we're going to throw a Mirror Shot. We've got the shields in our favour, so I don't know they can actually land anything on us. And there we go. Right, so incoming move, likely to be a cross drop. There we go. We shielded the cross drop, and we're just going to go straight for the Wild Charge. Again, this does a monstrous amount of damage. It's probably enough to take it out. There we go. Goodbye, Machamp. And what have we got next? Leo like a boss. What have you got for us? Dragonite leading into a Machamp. So again, we do have to respect the rock slides, but the cross drop is not going to hurt us. They know this. They switched to the Gyarados with Dragon Tail. So I was a bit slow on the switch there because I was a bit surprised at the move. So I've switched into my Magnezone because I like the electric versus double vulnerable to electric. Dragon Tail will resist, which is nice as well. The crunch damage is going to hurt us, so I think we can shield here, but we can just farm down with electric moves, and that's great. We've got a Magnezone with, well, it's down a shield, but it's got a full bank of energy, and whatever comes in next is really going to be hurting. And it's a Magnezone, so that's an interesting one, because it's obviously vulnerable to the steel, but the electric is not going to do it a lot of good. However, as you can see, the mirror shots really do take big chunks off it, and unless they can land a Bulldoze, we're quite solid actually against the ice damage. So they switch on the mirror shot, that's good timing for their part. That's fine though. Right, Machamps, and so we go back into the Dragonite. I'm going to throw the Dragon Claw now, and then not actually pop any bubbles. Because what we're hoping to do is get them to shield it, and they concede. The reason we didn't pop any bubbles is because we want to shield, but we don't want to take out their Machamp. And if they don't shield, we want to do them a little bit of damage so we can farm them down afterwards. That was the trick there, but obviously it's not going to be going that way because they conceded. So, another Dragonite lead, we are going to go into the Dragon Claw and we are going to switch to our Metagross to try and catch it, like that. There we go. The joy of having slightly less than perfect stats on my Dragonite means I definitely lose any CMP ties, and I just have to be aware of that and be prepared to, take the blow first. It's okay, it's playable. Right, Gyarados versus Metagross. That's a good solid one for us. The waterfall damage is adding up quite nicely, but that's okay. We've taken down their health quite a long way. They're going to finish this with a crunch. That's fine. That's going to have blown all their energy, and now the Magnezone can come in and finish the job. We'll drop a shield here, respecting the possible crunch. There we go. Crunch does still hurt. It does neutral to steel types, but we farmed down. We've used no energy, so we've got a nice bank of energy to make up for that. We've got a shield lag. In comes Metagross, so we're going to try a Wild Charge. It's a bit hit and miss as to which choices you make when baiting with this. I usually prefer to fire a Wild Charge first, and then a Mirror Shot second. So that way, I do debuff myself on the first move, but people often don't anticipate it. I have to shield here because it could have been an Earthquake, and we can't risk that landing. And then we go back into the Mirror Shots here. There we go, so as you can see, got the second shield, and we can build up with another Wild Charge, and just throw another Mirror Shot at the Dragonite. It's not a Wild Charge, and if they don't shield, well, they did shield. So we go back into our Dragonite with a loaded Dragon Claw, because we kept it and didn't throw it, whereas they threw theirs, and goodbye Dragonite. In comes Metagross. Now this is a bit dangerous, because they could potentially farm us down, so we are going to build up to the Hurricane, just to convince them to throw their energy. If they come back in with an energy lead, they'd have an Earthquake ready, and we'd have been in trouble here. But as it is, They had to use their energy to avoid the hurricane, and we can get the wild charge to land. And there we go. So, and who we got next? Dragonite's going to be leading into Charizard. That's an interesting one. I have not seen Charizard in quite some time. And it's looking like it's a fast spin one, so no one's brought the Community Day move out to play. Now it's got Dragon Claw, which does hit us for super effective, and that's the thing we've got to respect. And the energy gain of Fire Spin is higher, so we have to, we anticipate they'll land it first. So what we're just going to do is farm them with Dragon Breath and build up to almost 2 Dragon Claws, because that way they can't afford to let one land. We can now afford to let one land because we've done a lot of damage with Dragon Breath. So that's super effective, it hurts, but we are going to be able to farm them down completely, I think, here. Yep. So, goodbye Charizard, and in comes a Togekiss. Now we go into our swap. They bring in a Swampert, great. We've drawn out their steel counter, and we know there's their only steel counter. Earthquake does better against Swampert, but obviously it costs a bit more energy, so we're just going to go straight into Earthquake here. We can afford for them to shield it, because actually we want them to shield it. And we're going to build up again, and incoming Hydro Cannon probably. Swamperts commonly run Hydro Cannon and Sludge Wave in this league. You do occasionally run into ones with Earthquake, which do one-shot all the steals it ever sees, but it doesn't really need it mostly. So Metagross will take out a chunk of it with Meteor Mash before going down to the Hydro Cannon. And maybe you can hear my dog in the background, she's offering her contributions. Alright, Dragonite comes back in. Good hard counter to Swampert, so we're just going to go straight Dragon Claw. There we go, and in comes Togekiss again, and Magnezone. Well, it's got a shield, and it's got resistance to charm, so this is basically a good game now. We're just going to go straight Mirror Shots to Mirror Shot it down. We don't need to risk debuffing ourselves, and we can shield any incoming charge moves, but I don't think they're going to get to one in time, so there we go, Mirror Shot, goodbye. Right, so is that the last of my matches? Yes, I think it may be. So, there we go, nice 5 out of 5 set. That was quite pleasing, I quite enjoyed that, and I'm actually quite impressed with this team. I think it's about as straight down the meta as you can get. I mean, I suppose I could have brought a Togekiss out instead of the Magnezone, but Metagross and Dragonite are, you know, the core of this meta. Still, I think this is a solid team, I think it's got a lot of potential. I think we'll start seeing some backlash against it as people start to run double steel counters. Actually, I've already seen a few teams running double steel counters, so, you know, it doesn't always work out, it's just I had a good run with it today. So, have you been trying something similar? I hope it's been working out for you, and I hope you've had a good day. Thanks for watching.